we said here was captured very beautifully in the final line English drama also. Why we are doing it, as you would see, I don't know whether you have gone through the exhibition. On 15th August 2021, Prime Minister Modi announced from that fort when he was giving the address to the nation that 14th August would be observed as the partition or as Remembrance Day. Everybody knows that on 14th August we will partition into two. India, the great motherland, India was partitioned into two states by the Britishers, and this was done by Lord Mountbatten. Even though the Prime Minister at that time, Clement Attlee, had decided that we will transfer the power to the Indians themselves, and they will run their country by themselves, and the transfer of power would happen by June 1948. But somehow the Britishers had a treacherous plan. They wanted to prepone it by a year. So Lord Mountbatten fast forwarded it, and then that thing happened in August 1947, 1 year before. And the person who decided as to what is going to be as part of India and what is going to be part of Pakistan was a man, Sir Richard Radcliffe, who had never been to India. And within 3 weeks, he drew a line partitioning two countries, partitioning India into two countries. So, as the exhibition says, it is the biggest human displacement. Over 1 million people were killed. That is the statistics which has been gathered by the historians on both sides. It's not only highlighting the communal divide, the hatred on religious lines, but also the agony and the age-old feeling in India that we had of coexistence that was disturbed by a sudden decision of the Britishers. Of course, many of us were also to be blamed within that country at that time. But this is one thing that has left problems to this day. About I think 2 million non-Muslims had to move out of Bengal, and then also about 6.5 million Muslims also had to move to Pakistan, and then equal number from there to India. I wanted some people who have suffered the partition to come down and narrate their stories. One of them had agreed also, but because of his other preoccupations, he couldn't join us. Otherwise, he would have narrated as to what kind of empire they had in WHYALLA. They had about 200 trucks in WHYALLA, large companies running over there, but then when they were left with nothing to come over to India. And then of course government of India gave them a land. Some were sold, some were given on grant. Many people settled and they became very successful while they came back to India. But then suddenly on one day, if you were to decide that I'm going away from Perth to shift to another place, what kind of agony and human suffering that comes to the people. So that is what we wanted to highlight. And you have seen the current geopolitical situation all over the world is very uncertain. There is a lot of hatred spreading all around within the globe. So looking at the sufferings that our people, our forefathers suffered during the partition, I think we should continue to work in the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and try and bring peace and feeling of brotherhood among everyone. We shouldn't divide people, we should continue to unite people. Religion is nothing. Why should we divide people on the line of religions? When we come into this world, we have no religion. We are all sons of that great Almighty God, which could be anyone. It could be Christ, it could be Allah, it could be any God. Sorry. I think the partition is also causing problem to my neck. So this is what is the message from this thing. I would request you to go through each and every exhibit that we are showing it here. It is also available on the Ministry of Culture's website. If you would want to, show it to your kids at home, please do that. Because they should. We are also second generation. We didn't suffer it, but the first generation who have suffered it. I was just listening to one lady's interview, which was recorded by SBS. It is there. If you just search on SBS, you will be able to see that lady was narrating as to how she was saved from the Muslim people who were trying to kill everybody who was coming to India at that time. So I don't mean to say that violence happened on that side, violence happened on both sides. So close to 1 million people were killed at that time. We don't want people to be killed in such fashion where the countries are partitioned. Of course, later on, East Pakistan was converted into Bangladesh, and you know what is happening nowadays there also. India has been a beacon of hope in our region. Fortunately, because of our strong constitution, we have always been a democracy. Because as Prime Minister said, that democracy is within our ethos. During Buddhist times also, we would always sit together and then decide on issues, take everybody's opinion into consideration, and then only arrive at a decision. This is part of our civilizational ethos. So this is how we should continue to function. Listen to everyone. The people could have opposite views opposite to what you think is right. But we need to carry everyone along so that there is no disharmony within the society. ISWA is doing great work in this direction. We should continue doing it. And those who oppose us or those who are not with us, we should, it should be our aim to bring them with us. Because they are our friends. They are all part of the Indian community here. They might have a view different to ours, but it is a challenge to us that we are able to prevail upon them and show them the right path so that there is no division. And we are very fortunate to have today Dr. Jax, who is also bringing the community together and raising community issues within the Western Australian Parliament. He would need your support when the state goes to polls in a couple of months. So please extend that support to him, wholehearted support, because he's been a great support, and he's continuing to extend that support not only to us but also to ISWA and to this center, to developing a very cohesive community. And we saw that other day when we had that India Day parade. Only 1,000 people had turned up, even though we have 100,000 people here. I don't know, it is my dream, when we will see 10,000 people, going down the Perth CBD as part of the parade. That will happen one day. My other dream is that, we will have a bigger International Yoga Day with every Indian participating. Hopefully we should try with your support to do another yoga event. We don't need to do yoga event only around International Yoga Day. Maybe in November, December, when the weather is better and then more people can come forward to join in yoga. Fortunately, we also have Sri Ravi Shankar coming here in 17th October. Of course, those are paid events and not everybody can go there. But we should do a yoga event. And that should be not only my objective, everybody's objective, that we should try and bring at least 4,000 to 5,000 people doing yoga at one group. I hope my counselors, a series of counselors, we have about 13 counselors, 12 counselors who are with India, 13th is not. So those 13 counselors are there, and then next in 25, I think that number of counselors will grow, and hopefully they will be able to graduate into the state parliament, and the state parliamentarians will be able to graduate to ministership or the federal parliament. We have very good future. All the Indian Australian community here is very good future. So I now invite Dr. Jax, the Parliamentary Secretary to the Premier, also assisting the Deputy Premier and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Commerce, a great friend of India. We are very fortunate and blessed to have him here, and he will share his views on this partition. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the kind introduction. May I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Wajak people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. Can I acknowledge some special guests? Thank you, Council General Sir, for inviting me for this special day. I've never been to a partition awareness evening. I'm 52, in 51 years I've never been to one of these. Councillors, Tarun Devang, Peter Shanavas, K.R. Kamdar, thank you for being part of this event, and Deepak Sharma ji, Aipeta, thank you for being here. Now, I'm very weak in history, probably why I ended up doing medicine. I myself learnt a lot today when the Consul General was explaining what this partition was all about and how the decision was made. Without being political, one thing I personally very strongly feel is that India as a nation, over the years, 77 years, moving on to the 78th year, has spent significant amount of money in defense. The partition
जागृति लै रहे देख रहे सारे श्रोतिਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਆਦਾਬ ਤੇ ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ ਜੀ। ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਅੰਦਰ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਜਨਰਲ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਅਮਰਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਲਾਕੀ ਜੀ, ਜੈਗਸ, ਦੀਪਕ ਸ਼ਰਮਾ ਜੀ, ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਇਸਵਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਰਿਮੈਂਬਰੈਂਸ ਡੇ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦਾ। आओ जी जी सब उन्हें स्पीच करके हटे ने डॉक्टर जैक्सी की स्पीच सुनते हैं तो उधर चलते हैं।
Interactions and actions being taken. There's a lot happening,
Partition
and the whole world is looking to India simply because boldly every country can say India is a non-controversial democracy. You can't say that with many countries, and one day or the other you have to take sides of this side or that side. So we need to be proud to be Indians, and this is reminding us that the problems, not only financially but emotionally, and the families being divided, and the trauma that people have been through for years, generations that they have remembered, and the conflict which continues to go on, all that is simply because of division, and it is a strong reminder for us to be staying united in every aspect. We can differ in our values, we can differ in our beliefs, but as people of Indian origin, when it comes to India, when it comes to anything else as representing, we need to be staying united, and this particular partition day is a strong reminder for us to say we should stay one to be stronger. We should take a big pride to call ourselves of Indian origin people, simply because the contribution is not something which is simple. It is very significant. The President of ISWA, Deepak Sharma, the other day said Indians are the second highest taxpayers in Australia. We want to be first. We want to grow bigger. We want to stay united. And again, thank you for the seniors who have laid the platform for this generation to stay strong, and it is our responsibility to create a strong future for the next generation. We need to rise above. When things go very well, they say he is just another person who's doing well. But when things go wrong, the blame can fall on the country, and we need to take that responsibility on our shoulders, on our heads, in doing the right thing all the time, and preaching that and promoting that to the next generation. Thank you for having me, and it is a learning experience for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, and very inspiring words actually. Everybody should follow what he has said. Now I would request you all to please go with us, go with our Honorable Chief Guest here, Dr. Jax, and see each and every, take a moment, read the whole thing, and then only move on to the next exhibit. Don't be in a rush because there is still an embargo on the food. Food will only open when you all eat at the last exhibit. It's not going to open faster than that. I also invite you all to please join us tomorrow at the Consulate for the flag hosting ceremony. Of course, there will be a flag hosting which Dr. Jacks will of course be leading, and ISWA has set up another shop now. So they will be doing it, one exercise here also. They have invited me, but it will be difficult for me to come here in that early morning, because 10 o'clock we need to have that flag hosting at the Consulate. That is the event that I invite you all. And then on Saturday we have the plantation ceremony at Thornley. The flyer is in social media. Ek Peड़ Maa Ke Naam campaign, which is led by Prime Minister Modi. In India, we have a target of planting about 80 million saplings by September, and some 1.2 million or 4 million 4 billion by March. Large number, but we should do over a bit here in Western Australia. We did that plantation 2 weeks back, but we wanted the community to come together and do that plantation. Unfortunately, we have a very nice group here, Armadale Gosnell's Land Care Group, which does it every weekend. So we thought we will join with them. We just have to come and plant. But try and bring your family together, because as it says, एक पेड़ माँ के नाम, तो अपनी माता के साथ मिलकर वो पेड़ लगाना है छोटा सा. बच्चे अपनी माता के साथ कर सकते हैं और अपनी माता के साथ आ सकते हैं, पिता भी लगा सकते हैं. तो आप जो उसके साथ आइएगा, हमारे साथ जुड़िएगा. मेरा बड़ा सौभाग्य होगा अगर आप सैटरडे को आ सके. अगेन बहुत बारिश हो रही होगी, लेकिन मैं जब लास्ट टाइम गया था तो बहुत बारिश थी मेरे घर से लेकिन जब तक वहाँ तक पहुँचा बारिश रुक गई, फिर हमने आराम से पेड़ लगाए और उसके बाद आगे चल पाए. तो डोंट वरी अबाउट द रेन. हिंदुस्तानियों को बारिश और आंधी तूफान नहीं रोकता, हम लोग आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं. यहाँ हमारे साथ कुछ आर्टिस्ट भी जुड़े हैं, some painters who, we had, because we are celebrating the 78th Independence Day, so we had requested the community to come out with the artistic impression of independence as it means to them. उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी पेंटिंग्स बनाई हैं यहाँ पे. I wanted them to come tomorrow, but आज आए हैं, though it is different from the theme of today's event. आज आए हैं, आप उनकी पेंटिंग्स देखिएगा, लेकिन इसको सोशल मीडिया पे जरा कल तक ना डालें तो मेरी बहुत आपसे रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी, क्योंकि these are embargoed till tomorrow morning. We will showcase these paintings at the flag hosting ceremony to the community, and then only it should be published. तो आप लोग जुड़िएगा और फिर कल कुछ और संदेश होंगे काउंसलेट के प्लेटफॉर्म से. अभी आप में से कोई भी अगर अपने इस इवेंट के बारे में कुछ बोलना चाहे, Mr. Tarun Dewan is always a very expert speaker and ready to grab the mic from me, so please come forward.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to Dr. Jack and everybody. When I was leaving India, I'll just narrate a small story. It was 26th April 2003. There was a havan in the house, and my mom said, "Beta, tu Australia जा रहा है, सिर्फ एक चीज का ध्यान रखना. Whatever actions you do in Australia, it will be reflection of the entire India. So make sure that you follow each and every rule, each and every discipline, and each and every integrity while in Australia." So that was the message she gave me. The other short story is, when my grandfather was in West Pakistan, Dera Ghazi Khan, he was a big lawyer there. There were Hindu clients, there were Muslim clients. There was a Hindu food, Muslim food. So on the partition, when the partition happened, every family was in danger, my father, his sister, everybody. But one of the brigadiers of Indian Army, he sent a truck, army truck to his house, because my grandfather and brigadier's father were known to each other. So from India, he sent one truck and said only 40 people will sit in the truck and they will come to Lahore. And they had gunmen, and that's how my grandfather was saved. They boarded the truck and little luggage, and they boarded to Lahore. And when they reached Lahore, they made an announcement that whosoever was a lawyer, can take the commandant job of the camp. And he became a commander of that camp, and then he obviously helped so many people to get houses and everything. So 2 small stories. Thank you for listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tarunjini's story. So as I remembered, even my dad came from, from partition from, I don't know which side,
Mint Gumri.
Mint Gumri, so which part of that Pakistan, I don't know. But he was, I think, 6-year-old or 7-year-old when he, transitioned across, and so they are a family of 10, and he was trying to decide kis tarah se, he was actually, his sister was big, so she carried her, because he could walk, they had to walk to cross it. So, they used to take turns to carry him, and that is the only way, they could reach. But just like used to happen over there, all the families who moved over, gold, everything, everybody thought safe, borewell ke andar dal do. That used to be the whole concept of how, there was no bank, nothing. So obviously when he went back, all his savings, lifetime savings to go back to Pakistan, and found nothing there. And that obviously had a lot of impact on him, because he had to feed a family of 10 when he came over back to India, and there was nothing. So, and it had an impression on my dad. He says that's the reason he said, I have to get into defense. So because that was the way, in his mind when he was young, the country could be protected. So he wanted to be so he got into Air Force and thereafter. So, how it shapes and obviously all the struggles that come along. So yeah, but again, when these stories, of course, tomorrow there is a celebration, today there is this Remembrance Day. So it's good, good to reflect, all that celebration happened, but there was a pains that also the community, had endured before we. But again, I want to thank Consul General Taki Saab for having this event at ISWA Center. I know less people have come because of the weather. I really thank him for bringing this event here for the community, and I'm sure we'll try and share as much as possible for people to. I don't know whether we having it here tomorrow also. No, okay, maybe if it's in the consulate, they'll have other opportunities to see, because a lot of good things are here. So thank you again.
We haven't paid for 2 days, so I have to I'll pay it back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Consul General Amarjeet Singh Taki ji, MLA, Parliamentary Secretary to the Premier, Dr. KRISHNAN, Councillors, Deepak Sharma ji, and everybody else, good evening. When I was young, I was not there during the time of partition, but when we were studying in school, one topic every year for us to speech contest, elocution contest was on the 15th of August, Independence Day, speak about independence. And I remember my grandfather and my father telling me, when start of the speech with August 15, 1947 was a red letter day in the history of India. That's the day we got independence. But this reminds us of the other side of what happened on that particular day. When we all talked about being good Indians and spreading our culture, if you look at history, the last 400-500 years has been, the Western civilization has been on top. But if you go back millenniums, 10,000 years, 1,000 years before that, the Hindu culture, the Indian culture was the one that conquered the whole world without firing a single shot, just by going around the world with love and compassion and spreading our mythology, our Ramayana and all that, and teaching people what is good, what is bad, what is good karma. We gave karma to the world. We told them, you do good, you got small lifespan. Do some good karma, it will come back to you and your family. You can see temples, Hindu temples in Indonesia, in South America, in so many places around the world. How did all this happen? We were ruling the world once. And today, I think we as the foreign diaspora, the Indian diaspora in many countries, have a duty to continue doing that. We will still conquer the world, or we are conquering the world, not by fighting, not by shooting, but by showing how to live a good life and showing people where the karma should be. So use our short time, do a good karma. One other thing is all of this Remembrance Day. My kids, my friend's son who is here, but they don't know anything about what happened in 1947, what happened in partition, what happened in Independence Day. The new generation has no idea of what happened. And I don't know if they still teach this in schools. I think this is a very good opportunity to showcase where our history was, where we came from. And thank you, sir, for doing this. Thank you, Deepak ji, for the facility. Enjoy, everybody. Thank you.
आपने बहुत ही अच्छा कहा कि इतिहास हमें बताता है कि आगे कैसे चलना, और इतिहास से हमेशा रूबरू होते रहना चाहिए, इतिहास से सबक सीखने चाहिए। आज हमारे साथ बीजू जी भी हैं यहाँ से, हिंदू काउंसिल के जनरल सेक्रेटरी साहब, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ford. भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, वंदे वंदे। बोलना तो बहुत कुछ बोलना है, बिकॉज मेरा grandfather he is a freedom fighter, so I learned lots of things from him, what they sacrificed, how was the fight there, because I'm basically from Kerala, so how they fight, because he was in Madras for fighting for the freedom. He was in INA, so he taught me lots of things. So what, like everyone's saying, we need to learn something from the history, what the history is teaching us. So this is our responsibility to hand over all the things to our kids. How we got the freedom and what is the importance of the freedom. हर साल हम लोग मनाता है freedom, लेकिन we have to teach our kids. Otherwise, they will not learn anything. That is our mistakes. We are not teaching our kids. That we need to teach. Like I'm teaching my kids how we sacrifice, what sort of sacrifice was happened, and how we got freedom. And the freedom means what? So that is our responsibility. And please take this opportunity to teach your kids, bring your kids tomorrow in Indian Consulate, and at least they can see and all these things. And this is the message we need to pass our future. And thank you very much. Thank you, Ji, for inviting us, for all of us. And thank you, everyone, Dr. Jag and Aiki and Tarun Ji, Peter Shanavas and KU, and everyone. Thank you very much, all the families who gathered here. And thanks once again. Vande! Vande! Thank you.
आपने बहुत ही अच्छा कहा कि फ्रीडम के मायने क्या है, इसको हमें समझना चाहिए। तो आप अभी मैं आई थिंक वी आर रनिंग बिट लेट नाउ, वी विल क्लोज, बट वी विल नाउ गो थ्रू the exhibition, and then food portion will be open, the last element of the today's program. But again thank you all of you for having taken time off your busy schedule, evening when you were actually supposed to be at home. You have come, and actually this is your home, Indian Community Center is your home, so you are actually your home, at your home. So don't think that you are away from your home. And our host today is Mr. Deepak Sharma, who has very graciously, kindly given us this facility, made available to us. He didn't charge me, I'm just joking. Thank you. Thank you.
बेटा वीरेंद्र, हेलो हेलो हरीश शर्मा जी, ओके पुलिस ऑफिसर है। अच्छा अच्छा, वो तो बहुत जवानी बता रही है। एक वीडियो बनाते थे पहले, वो थे ये रहते थे, उधर दूर से मूव हो गए। थोड़ी वीडियो बना दे बेटा, घुमा दे। हाँ सर, इधर ये फादे आ जाओ।
बिहारी तो आए नहीं।
Why was it preponed by 1 year? The partition, what was the logic? Just high-handedness. Yeah, high-handedness. No, actually there is one very. नहीं, वो तो फिर जिना जी का वही था, हिंदू एंड मुस्लिम cannot coexist, so he wanted to have a say. They knew that once the independence happened,
then the power will go to Congress. Congress with Jawaharlal Nehru, and Jinnah had its own ambition to become. So he started, a momentum to have a separate nation.
joking with
Equal opportunity like Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel within Congress. But even he was not sure that Pakistan will be free. But he lobbied about that, but Jinnah was not sure. Off lately towards the end, there was so many. Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Oh yeah. Read a book called The Great Game by Simon. And another book called Success and Failure of Jinnah.
और जनाब
नहीं
इसको खींच लो
नहीं कभी कभी क्या होता है ट्रेन में भी पढ़ने में बड़ा मजा आता है
थैंक यू प्लीज
नहीं उनकी जगह हम है ना एक देखो सिमरन दीदी ने बोला है तुम नहीं आई तो देख लेना तुम्हारी हिंदी जबान में धमकी दे दी तो मैंने कहा भैया जरूर आऊंगी आगे
शाम को नहीं कर सकते रिक्वेस्टिंग का कोई इवेंट हाँ करेक्ट वो भी
गवर्नमेंट ने उसको सेटल करने के आगे जितने भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो बांग्लादेश में
जल्दी जी की भी बना दें ये बना रहा हूँ जल्दी जी हाँ जी हाँ जी झंडा नहीं
इंडिया पाकिस्तान
आना बेटा मुंडे को काम ले गए थैंक यू thank you so much you watching JAGDISH partition horror is the Constitution of India से यहाँ इस वक्त में प्रोग्राम रखा गया था जो कि अभी जारी है सी साहब ऑनरेबल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया अमरीजीत सिंह ताकी जी नरेश शर्मा जी अपने डॉक्टर जैग्स कृष्णन MLA और काउंसलर्स दीपक शर्मा जी बिस्वा और काफ़ी टीम ये सभी आए हुए हैं। तो जागृति लहर देख रहे सभी जो दर्शक हैं उन्हें बहुत बहुत उनका धन्यवाद जिन्होंने ये टाइम दिया। तो सब ने ये काफ़ी मेहनत की है, उनकी टीम ने काफ़ी मेहनत की है। ये जो अपना रिमेम्बरेंस डे की यहाँ एग्जीबिशन लगी है तो काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है। Excuse me, madam. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
आप सब लोगों की तवज्जो चाहूँगा। आप जैसे सब लोगों को मालूम है कि हम लोग हर घर तिरंगा भी मना रहे हैं। तो पिछले साल हम लोग 500-600 फ्लैग्स लाए थे जो हमने परेड के दौरान वितरित किए थे, आप सब लोग आए। तो हर घर तिरंगा में एक मुहिम हमारी ये है कि एक सेल्फी ली जाए तिरंगे के साथ में, और उस सेल्फी को आप हमारे साथ शेयर करें और हर घर तिरंगा की पोर्टल पे पोस्ट करें। आप लोगों ने किसी ने पोर्टल में पोस्ट नहीं किया, मुझे दिख रहा है। तो आज मैं झंडे साथ लेके आया हूँ। आप एक एक करके आपकी तस्वीर ली जाए, आपके कैमरे में ली जाए और फिर हर घर तिरंगा के पोर्टल पे जरूर डालनी है। हम लोग भी लेंगे, तो आपको ये करना है। आप इस मुहिम में हमारा साथ दीजिए, तो मुझे लगता है आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा, उतना ही अच्छा जितना मुझे लगेगा।
अपने कैमरे से सर
and then post it on the other Tiranga portal.
थैंक यू सर।
सर मैं वापस कर दूंगा।
हाँ नहीं आप इनका लीजिए।
I think we can don't take this background. Maybe near Gandhi.
थैंक यू सो मच सीजी साहब। अच्छा आपकी फोटो
क्या बाजी आ जाओ। दिस साइड
ये नहीं आना चाहिए।
ये पार्टीशन
लो जी।
और आजो पीछे।
अब भाई साहब एक फोटो ले लो। कहीं राजा
ओके मैं भी
जो शेयर करेंगे हाँ गांधी जी आइए।
आप पेंटिंग रखी है।
गांधी जी लुकिंग द अदर साइड।
But this exercise defeats my purpose. आपको इंडिविजुअली लेके पोस्ट करना है।
थैंक यू सो मच बेटा।
आशीर्वाद घर पे ही है।